In the echoing chambers of a dark, timeless castle, two figures sit across from each other, shadows dancing in the flickering candlelight. One, his face etched with the solemnity of a life spent in political and poetic turmoil, his sightless eyes seeing worlds beyond our own. The other, with a sharp, aquiline profile, a man who has journeyed through the very depths of damnation and ascended to the heights of heaven. John Milton and Dante Alighieri, together at last. Dante leans forward, the crimson of his Florentine robes, a stark contrast to the gloom. So, Master Milton, your great work, this Paradise Lost. You paint a compelling portrait of the great adversary. You give Satan a grandeur, a tragic heroism. Why grant such a figure such a voice? Milton's lips curve into a faint, knowing smile. Signor Alighieri, is it not the nature of rebellion that fascinates us? Your own journey began in a dark wood, lost from the straight path. My Satan is not a hero, but a monument to the corrupting power of pride. He chose to reign in hell rather than serve in heaven. It is a choice born of ego, not strength. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. He is the architect of his own eternal prison, a prison built from vanity. Dante nods slowly, his gaze distant as if recalling the infernal landscapes he once traversed. A prison of the mind. Yes. The punishments in my Inferno were not arbitrary. They were the sin itself, made manifest for eternity. The lustful, swept by winds they could not control, just as they were swept by passion in life. The wrathful, forever striking each other in the putrid marsh. Justice, divine and perfect, is the reflection of one's own choices. Your Satan embodies this. He is hell itself. Precisely, Milton affirms. And what of paradise? You walked its celestial spheres, guided by the luminous Beatrice. Tell me, was the light not overwhelming? I imagine a glory so pure it would be almost painful for mortal eyes. A soft delight enters Dante's expression at the mention of Beatrice. It is a light that does not blind, but clarifies. It is the light of understanding, of love that is divine. Each soul in my paradise resides in a state of perfect contentment with their place in the divine order. They do not envy those in higher spheres, for they understand that to be anywhere else would be to defy the very love that placed them there. In His will is our peace. That is the essence of heavenly joy. Your Adam and Eve. They had this peace, did they not? In a garden. They did, Milton says, a note of sorrow in his voice. They had innocence. They walked with God. But they were given a choice, a single, simple prohibition. The forbidden fruit was not merely an apple. It was the symbol of obedience, of trust in a wisdom greater than their own. By choosing knowledge for its own sake, by succumbing to the serpent's whisper that they could be as gods, they chose self-will over divine will. They chose the path of your sinners, the path of my Satan. And in doing so, Dante continues, they found themselves in a world much like the one we both knew, a world of strife, of exile. I was banished from my beloved Florence, forced to wander, tasting the bitterness of another's bread and the hardship of climbing another's stairs. The path is always there, Dante insists, but one cannot walk it alone. I had my Virgil, my guide through the depths, representing human reason. And then I had Beatrice, representing divine love, to lead me to God. We need guidance, both from the wisdom of the past and the grace from above. We are social creatures, bound to each other in a great chain of being. To believe one can achieve salvation alone, that is the very pride that caused Lucifer's fall. And yet, Milton counters gently, the final choice remains a solitary one. Eve chose for herself. Adam chose to fall with her, out of a misguided love. In the end, we stand alone before a Creator to account for our choices. Free will is God's most terrifying and most glorious gift. Without it, love is meaningless. Obedience is mere automation, and paradise is but a gilded cage. Dante looks into the poet before him, a deep respect dawning in his own. a gilded cage, a powerful thought. You value freedom above all else, even a guaranteed, unthinking bliss. It is the foundation of virtue, Milton replies. True virtue is tested. Adam and Eve had to be tested, because through that fall, Milton explains, humanity was given the chance for something greater than innocence. Redemption. Through Christ, a greater paradise can be won. One not of a garden, but within. A paradise of the faithful heart, earned through trial, tested by suffering, and solidified by faith. A paradise far more meaningful than one simply handed to us at birth. The candles burn low, casting long, dancing shadows that seem to stretch into infinity. The two poets, separated by centuries but united by their profound exploration of the human condition, fall into a comfortable silence. They have journeyed through hell, ascended to paradise, and witnessed the fall of man, all within the confines of their minds and their immortal words. The dark castle around them is no longer a prison, but a cathedral of thought, where the grandest questions of life, faith, and free will echo eternally. If you enjoy diving into the minds of great thinkers and exploring profound ideas like these, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing for more journeys into philosophy and art.